Right. Onegaishimasu.
Onegaishimasu.
Okie dokie, good. Just stand shoulder width apart. Speaking of ankles, loosen the rest of the whole of the body. Just think about tensioning the ankle as you do this, and just play with, the end of the movement up and down. Just play with releasing everything out. Just let the head settle on top of the shoulders, top of the rib cage. Let all the movement really come from the ankle, foot. And just take the tension a little bit higher into the leg as well. Keep the ankle tensioning. Start to tension the quads and the hamstring. Keep a little bit of flex in the knee. Especially the front of the leg into tension. And feel the shin bone. Well, keep going. 1 second. Maya. Maya. Good. And then take it into your glutes as well. So just feel like you're tensioning the whole lower body. Keep a little bit of, again, flexibility in the knee, especially now focusing on the glutes, got muscles. Tension them. Okay. Keep everything nice soft. And release that tension, release the ankle as well, just let them mobilize. Start with the hands, so start with the hand, tightening fists. Keep the elbows release, shoulders release, really tight fist. Keep the pulse going to the ground. And then just feel like you start to activate the wrist, the forearm towards the elbow. On both sides, you notice if there's kind of feel like it's a different, might feel one side feels a little bit tighter. Might be your dominant side. Just try and keep it in the elbow, wrist, forearm, and tight. Keep the fist nice and tight, squeezing. And then take it into the shoulders. You can obviously, if you tension the shoulders, you can tension the shoulders out wide. You could also tension the shoulders up. Just play with different positions with the shoulder, with tensing the whole arm. Also these kind of positions. You can think about tensioning, or adding tension, something like that, which would be like tightening. And you can also think about tensioning, which is like just pulling the joint a bit longer. Letting it naturally come into tension. Good. A little bit longer. See if you can take it into the chest now. So the arms, chest, front of the chest. You can explore different positions where you'll feel different levels of tension. And as you can take it into the shoulders as well, the back of the shoulder blades. You can obviously squeeze the shoulder blades together, but you also play with them being a bit wider, a bit longer. And then bring the neck into it as well. So just bring the best way to tension, or the easiest way is just pull the chin back a little bit. Think about tension in the neck muscles. Pull the head up long. And just feel the whole back of the body, so the backs, the spine, shoulder blades, all the way to the glutes. Start to tension the abdomen and the back of the ribs, chest. And then just start to take it into the whole body, so keep your hands tight. Start to tension in the legs, and then find a kind of slightly more, it's like you're on a trampoline, so you've got a kind of tension body. Just let the ankles slightly release. Keep a slight bit of freedom in the knee and the ankle. Tension, tension, tension. And just gradually start to release it from the hand. Release the shoulder, release the head, release the chest, release the abdomen, release the legs. You know, a little bit more like a kind of jelly. Just let the body naturally settle into position. Especially notice the position of the head, so try and avoid the head being forward. If anything, let the head be a little bit further back, or let the head rest back. And just play nice and subtly with, lengthening up, and then sinking down into it. Lengthen the body up, settle down. Lengthen up to the toes, fingers. Let's go to the top of the head, move into a slight back bend, maybe lengthen all the way up, sink down. All the way up, sink down. Good. And then go to the hips, take a nice deep breath in, lengthen up with the breath. Hinge from the hip, let the knee release, bring the hands down. Nice big deep breath out, and then curl it up. You can in through the nose, out through the mouth, or even the nose if you can't feel, do it comfortably. And the hips are hinge the movement. Just a little bit more for the hips up. It's a hip hinge. Let the hands come out. However you like to use them. You can use them like this, but just let the knees release. Hips go back. Let the torso basically pull away from the hips. So you're trying to lengthen the torso. Hands and hips pull away from each other, but also then think about the chest and the torso lengthening away from the hip. Key things that the knees don't track forward. So let the knees go back. Let the hips go back. And body goes forward. Try and maintain the sense that your weight is still over the feet, so you don't want to throw the weight back, in this case like this, or throw the weight forward with the chest. So just feel that the weight of the body all stays in the feet, and you're really just hinging the hip. And you can either breathe into it, nice and big, pull yourself out, and you can explore different breath patterns with it. About 20 or so. Nice big motion of the hip. Hips go back, hips come up and forward. Good. Great, just a few more. The next one, just hold that position, and then just play with the dorsal flexors. You're going to come up onto the ankle. You can do it two ways. You can do one and the other, or if you want, you can just do both. Find that position, lengthen up the ankle. Basically, take the heel out of the ground. Keep the weight again in the feet. And again, you can do one, the other, or you can do both. Just explore a little bit with that tension in the front, and weight over the feet, head long, torso pulling away from the hip. Nice deep breaths as you're doing it. Good, let the heel settle. Pull the toes up a little bit, just settle the weight again. And then spread the toes into the ground. Raise the hands up, keep the hips low. Pull the arms up. Spiral a little bit from the little fingers. So you start to go palm up. Nice deep breath. About 20 seconds here. Couple of deep breaths. And create length with the breath, so fingers and tailbone falling away. Tension all the time. Next, out breath. Rotate the thumbs down. Let yourself go to the ground. Release the upper spine from the ground. Keep the legs a little bit of tension in, and hips are back. The legs have to relax the spine a little bit. One deep breath here. Next in breath, come up to the shin bone, arm the back nice and long. Tension the neck, head. One breath. Keep the hips low, pull the hands up off and spread them out to the side, open the shoulders out. Nice deep movement. Again, all the weights over the feet. Spread the thumbs away. Think about widening the shoulders, not just bringing them together at the back, widening them. Again, use the breath to open up the space and the breath out to maintain the length. And 10 more seconds or so. And one more time, let the hips go a little bit further back, reach the hands forward, breathe in nice and deep. Anchor the feet into the ground, so you might want to feel you pull the ground apart, pull it towards you, whichever you feel more stable with. Just a couple of deep breaths in this position. The lower back's really burning, that's good. You're doing it right. And pull the hands back, release the spine, release all that tension in the hips. So just let it go, shake it out a little bit. Don't keep any of that tension as you do it. Great, good. We're going to one leg, nice long lunge, just playing with the back ankle. So first you straighten the legs out, so you can straighten both legs. And then just enough that you can feel that the legs kind of release, not too much that you kind of sag, but just enough that you've got a kind of elasticity in the body. So just to find the elbows nice and wide, hips parallel, hips square on, yeah. Nice big deep breath, spread the elbows a little bit wide. Nice long deep breath in, bring the hands out to the side, body, spread them down a little bit like you're driving the fingers down to the ground. And then really gently side bend over away from the back leg. Lengthen. Just a few, kind of pulling yourself back to center. Side bend over. Feel the feet all the time anchoring the ground. Using the breath, great length. Good. And then just come back. You're going to take the back hand, just reach forward with it. So you're going, in this case, to the center line. You're going across the center line, reaching out, and then pulling back. Feel that the hip basically initiates it. So if you struggle with this, just let the hand stay on the hip rolls, and then the hand reaches out, and then feel that the hip pulls the hand back, reaches out, pulls the hand back. Key thing here, just watch the knee. Try and avoid the knee doing something like that, where it starts to twist out. Really press the foot into the ground, anchor it, and tension through the leg as you're doing it. So if anything, it's starting to move that way, scissoring towards the center. Don't let it track out. Press the feet into the ground. Mobilize the body forward, reach out, pull back. Reach out, pull back. Reach out, pull back. Good. Just a couple more. Good. And then hold the position, bring the other hand into it, fix the fingers together. Nice deep breath in. Feel that the legs are basically scissoring together, something like this. So nice and long in the spine. Much more weight in the front leg than the back. And then as you keep the weight here, spiral the body up. So letting the hip again roll the body up. Nice big spiral. Try and keep the weight in the front leg. Nice deep breath in. You can use the breath to create space, use the out breath to maintain it. Pull yourself back to center. Good, press into the ground, change the leg. Just switch over again, just find that position, so straighten the legs out, loosen them, find a little bit of bounce in the body, not too much. Just enough that you feel kind of elastic. Good, just a couple of deep breaths. Spread the shoulders, pull the back of the body. A little bit like you're floating the hips up a little bit. Hands down, spread them out to the side. Extend to the fingertips. And gently side bend away from the back leg. Feel the legs as your anchor as the body mobilizes. Nice and secure in the legs. And same thing, back hand reaches out. and pulls back. Reaches out, pulls back. Reaches out, pulls back. And again, just let the hands stay on the hip. Find that motion, and then take it to the hand. Hip rolls up, hip pulls it back. And across the center line of the body. About 10. And find it, hold it, bring it and in. Find a weight in the front leg. Lengthen, nice deep breath, squeeze the fingertips together. And then slowly with the next out breath, start to spiral your way up, 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 up. Lengthen in all the way up. And a couple of deep breaths in this position. As you breathe in, think about pressing the back heel down into the ground. And as you breathe out, think about spreading the fingertips a little bit higher. Press the foot down. Spread the fingertips a little bit higher. And slowly pull back to center. Release the hands. Shake out the legs a little bit. Good. You got any tension in the shoulder? Just release it a little bit. Do one last one, which is a wide leg. So take yourself as far as you're kind of comfortable with it. Double shoulder width or something like that. Let the feet turn out a little bit. So gentle outside rotation of the feet. Just starting with the hip again, so let the hip release. Just pull forward and pull back a little bit, so hips travel back. Again, key things that the knees not traveling forward. Just let it hinge back, reach forward, hinge back, reach forward, hinge forwards. Put the hands back with the hip. And just making sure the weight basically stays over the leg, not kind of pulling back, not shifting forward, just balancing the feet. If you're not sure about that, the best way is just to pull the toes up, just so that you've got these kind of 3 points of contact in the feet. We'll kind of naturally balance you, hopefully. Just a couple there. Hold that from position. And then with the hands, you're going to slightly splay them. Let the body go down, as if you're kind of digging the hands into sand or something like this. So you're kind of digging the fingertips in, spearing them into the ground. And then you're going to rotate the little finger face side up and then press the hand up. So pulling the hand up. Try and do it in a way where you're not kind of pulling the shoulder up to do it. So you're scooping the shoulder up. Basically. Down, scooping the shoulder up. Just alternate a few each side. You can hold it with a breath at the top if you like. Like a kind of presentation movement with the hands, as if you're kind of reaching, presenting something up. Most of the weight's in the hands, in the feet. Hands take a little bit of the weight, but not too much. Great. One more, and then this position, just play with both. Hold it 30 seconds. 2 deep breaths. Reach up a little bit higher, a little bit higher, a little bit higher. One more nice deep breath. If your legs aren't shaking, you're not human. I know that. Oh, yeah. Okay, bring the legs down, bring the hands down. Just release the spine out. Relax the legs a little bit. Just roll the ankles out. So rolling the inside of the foot to the outside. Good. Find the shin bone, lengthen through the back. Bring the hands out wide. Last one, really annoying one. Bring the hands together, press the forearms together, press the elbows together. You're in this position, it's going to rotate back. Something like that. Press the elbows together, hold it. Reach the fingertips up in the in-breath. Pull the shoulders down, the out-breath. Keeping the length all the time. Squeeze the hands together, pull the ground apart. 10 more seconds. One more deep breath. And release it, pull yourself back to center. Let the feet come back. Release out the body. Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay, just release out the wrists. Take them out. Pull out the arms. Let the body incline gently, a little bit more each time. Just be careful of the lower back now. Lower the arms down to the ground. Release out the shoulders. Let it go to the neck and the head. Release them out. Nice and slowly bring the body back. Release out the legs. And feet, just releasing out the body. Great. Okay, there we go. We're going to continue with the 𝘗. So take your 𝘗. I'm just going to put my mat back together. Let's in the ground. So we did a little bit of ski work yesterday. We'll just go through those nice and easily. We'll just look at the first three. So do them in this order. Make sure you've got space behind, but do them 1, 2, 3. So I'll do them. If you want, you can follow my pace, or you can go at your own. But just play this. You've got 1, coming back, 2, and back, and then make sure you've got space behind you. 3. And just play with those 1, 2, 3. If you want to spend a bit of time on any of them, just settle into it. If you can, see if you can. That's very nice. Just play with this, a little bit of a trick for the body. You're going to go to do it, but just don't take the 𝘗 with it. So it's going to look something like this. You do the movement, this, but I don't find the 𝘗 with it. So I just do the body rotation. So what tends to happen is the body gets kind of stuck here, trying to find the hand, and then there's a kind of fast release out because the body's kind of thinks it needs to speed up because it's kind of delayed the movement. So just play with one thing, which is just one movement, which is there. Do it and go. Just go through it. Don't look to find the 𝘗. So release the arm, release the hand from its job to like find the 𝘗. Just don't let it. It doesn't need to do it in this case. So you can do all 3 of these in this way. So I go to do it, but I just don't let it grab. Go to do it, don't let it grab. It's placing it, it's in the right place, but I'm just not letting it. And I'm just looking at basically the delivery of the body weight and just the movement basically. So focusing much more on the idea that the body just wants to go back into the movement. And just let the hands, give the hands a day off, basically. Don't let them, they don't need to grab in this case. Yeah. Yeah, now with that, look for a little bit of precision with it. So you're going to release the arm, but depending on again on the thrust, allow it to come into like palm contact with the jaw. So you're going to allow the hand into a position where it could grab, but you're just not letting it. So actually the easiest one to play with in this case is two, where the palms just come into that position. Palms come to that position, and you're in the position where you can basically take the weapon. You just don't do it. So this and in, this and in. This and in. So it's going to the right, again, going to the right place. And I'm just looking at basically the contact point, which is like palm or the edge of the hand, basically getting in place. And it's in a position where it can close onto the weapon. Close onto the weapon. So it's just going that contact point. If you think the carryover from this, especially to Taijutsu, is this, what I don't see when I grip a partner is like grip with the fingers and then trying to lock everything in. What I want to do is like close in, get the disc, and then I wrap the fingers into it. So the way you make contact with the jaw, with the weapon in this case, changes everything with the body. So again, if I can look at the hand, how does the hand operate? How does it do its thing? It's going to also change everything to the body, the shoulder and the hips and this kind of stuff. So it will have a kind of consequence the way I deal with the hand. So in this case, you just come into position, but not all the way there. There. That's it. That's it. Good, and then with that, do it nice and slowly. So you kind of, again, you're looking at the operation of it in this case where it's like the hand in the contact, hand in contact, you start to grip, and then you find the strike. But focus really on the backhand in this case because it's the key hand in terms of jaw work. And just let the front hand do what it's doing. Don't concentrate on it too much. That, and focus on again this kind of wrapping of the grip. So the order's in a way like contact with the palm, little finger closes. So you're doing something. You're working kind of order of the grip in the sense of that. That. So. Good. Good. Yeah, good. Okay, good. Great. We'll look a little bit at the position of the front hand. So the same thing, just play with the front hand and just the grip in it this way. You want to basically keep the same grip that you've got in the back. So the feeling is really that it's on top of the jaw here. The big tendency with Joic especially, and actually probably comes from our sensei, because if you look at the pictures of our sensei, he's actually doing this a lot of the time. He's got a kind of curled grip this way. It's like underneath. Maybe that comes from bayonet work or something like this. But the one I also don't want to do is like that one, where I'm like rolling over the top of it. And if I look down, my knuckles on top of the jaw, and then the shoulder starts kind of over rotate. You can sink the shoulder down in this position, but it requires a different kind of ski work to make it work. So just play with the one where the shoulder can kind of sit in, and I get the heel of the hand basically on on the weapon. The main thing with this is that this grip allows you to kind of mobilize the jaw much easier. So that grip allows me to mobilize the jaw really easily. This grip, yeah, I can mobilize it, but it just feels the jaw's basically slipping out of the thumb, basically. So it's a loose grip. And that causes, because it is loose, causes all this tension in the shoulder. Because I can't grip stronger here, so the shoulder feels it needs to do something else. So this grip will basically allow me to release the shoulder, and it'll able secure the jaw and allow me to mobilize the weapon much easier. So with that in mind, as you do it, just play with the grips, which is where you've got the hand on, and then just play with how you find the grip in this place. So again, notice the tendency, something like that, something like that. Try and find the one which allows you to seal the grip, and that's the key part of the seal, the contact here, not really the fingers. So if I go with the fingers, I might go into that position. If I go with the finger, I might go to that position. Go with the heel of the hand, so I'm basically on top of the weapon, top of the weapon, top of the weapon, and collect it that way. Once you get in this position, play with all of them. So you've also got that position. It's a little bit tricky, obviously, because that starts to happen. I start to do something like that and start to roll into the palm. Just try and find that position where you can basically maintain the contact here and rip it and seal into it. And then again, once you've got that, play with also the back row. So the Ueshiba, probably the hardest of the three because you've got an extended shoulder position. Again, we were looking at yesterday, I don't want to over-rotate and hyperextend the arm and basically lose the jaw. So somewhere there, you've got a nice strong arcing extension of the arm. And just explore those positions and how the front hand assists in finding the focus. If I can get the front hand in a secure position, I can start to put a little bit more power into the strikes, and then you'll get this kind of vroom, this vibration through the jaw. You'll get the focus in the tip. The hands are balanced and they're secure, and the shoulders can kind of transmit the hips. Yeah, good. So easy. Good. And just play lightly now with the ski. So kind of work your way into it. Again, work with all three, but just play with a kind of roll through and look for really this sense that you seal the grip at the same time, seal the grip at the same time, seal at the same time. So both of the hands basically working together. If only one does it, I won't get it. Something like that, or something like that. Or the hands are just doing kind of that, try and get, boom, that. So it's something from the center, boom, transmitting to the hands through release shoulder, boom, into a fixed hand grip. Boom. So you get a vibration, boom, through it. That's it. No, that's so nice. Good. And once you've got it in one place, the first one's the easiest. Play with the second one, so you've got it there, 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 there. That. Again, the key thing is that the shoulders don't engage up, that they release down, and you're trying to transmit the ground through the hip, the shoulder to the hand to the jaw. That's it. Once you've got in that position, you might want to play with Ueshiba. Again, the trickiest of the two because weight's going backwards, body's a little bit rotated. The shoulder is in a trickier position. But again, if you can play with that. The best way to actually play with that, the Ueshiba, the grip, is don't do it backwards, basically just do it forwards. So you do something like that. That. It's actually, in a sense, it's a kind of missing 𝗧𝗔𝗞𝗜𝗠𝗨𝗦𝗨. So it's a kind of missing 𝗧𝗔𝗞𝗜𝗠𝗨 in this case, if you think about it. This would be this one fell up and come in here. Yeah. And we do that grip, we just do it in the Ueshiba. It's a trickier position actually. There should be another 𝗧𝗔𝗞𝗜𝗠𝗨𝗦, but this means you need to play with it a little bit. That's it. And then we'll just play with the 𝑗𝑛𝑔O with it. So good, use the first ski, the basic 𝗔𝗫𝗓𝗔 ski. This one, and then this one, and then rotate into it. this one, rotate into it. Boom, you have a question? Okay. I still leave. Hands up.
Bye.
See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. It's one forward, one back, and again look for that snapping of the weapon out. Go. Good. Great. Very nice. That's it. Very nice. Good. And then same, if you can, take this into a more of a 𝘰𝘪𝘏𝑗𝑖 kind of movement. So it needs this kind of center impulse to be functional. So the feelings at the center. You're going to do something like this. This. So it's really something in the footwork, but it needs to transmit from a kind of loosened structure in the shoulder, especially because if I tighten it, just lock the body up. So look for something when you do this like this. Don't hit the blinds. This. You do it. This. So you're transmitting the impulse from the ground. You really the main issue with this is this. Watch this. I start to stop doing the impulse out, so I lose the extension, and I do something like and it becomes really small. You're actually using the impulse and the strike to ground you, to take you to the next movement. So the bigger the strike is, the more you've got in the strike, the more you've got to take back with it. So the bigger the impulse, boom, you can take it backward. Play with this. You don't need to do all three movements. You can just do like 1, 2. You can do it really broken down in the case that you just do something like this. Like pulse in and release the body. Pulse in and release the body. Pulse in and release the body. Pulse in and release the feet. Yeah, so work in a kind of progression with it as well. If you get stuck with it, don't feel you need to do all three movements. Front, back, and then rotate. This is a nice set because you're doing both sides equally. So good for handwork, good for lots of things. Yeah, good. So okay, good. So just to give you, it also give you a little bit of a break at the end of it, because always just to start going and then like a kind of what is those things? Pinball machine. And basically get lost. So play with this, which is the back movement, the end movement. This. Really just pull yourself out and really find the back in this movement. So what we tend to do when we do this fast. Boom, boom, boom. I get stuck in the front, and then I go fall forward, fall backwards there. Fall forwards, fall backwards there, and the body's just constantly being like pulled like this. Use the back motion now. So you've got 1, 2, 3. Really pull the body back out of it. Find the ski. Come on. 1, 2, 3. Really pull yourself back out of it. So you're really coming into the back of the body. You can do it. Give yourself a bit of a break between the sets as well. Yeah, good. Okay, and when you pull back, don't relax. Well, it's not. I shouldn't say break, but it's not this. It's like the boom, boom, boom. So I'm prepared. The body's still prepared to basically go into the ski. So you're doing like this kind of motion, not this kind of motion. It's not a. Yeah, it's not a release in this case, especially the lower body. So you're allowing the lower body to basically sprung, like tightly sprung. And you should feel you should just be able to like go forward with it. Vroom. That's it, that's it, that's it. Yeah, good. Yeah, good. Oh, who's that? Sean. Okay. So 50-50. I'll let you in. Oh, we've got some other. Okay. Okay, you can join if you want. I don't mind. Bit late. Okay, with that, just play with these three. So you've got this ski forward, you've got this ski back. What I want you to play with is mix them up a little bit. So work with the space that you're in. You can do this, do this, do this. So you've got 1, 2, 3, and allow yourself to just switch positions each time. You can do this, you can do this, you can do this, this. So basically mobilizing the 𝘱𝘰𝘪𝘐. It doesn't always have to be a movement that's directly behind you. It can be a movement in front. It can be a movement to the side. It can be a movement with a rotation. But just allows it to come back each time. So play a little bit with releasing the 𝘱𝘰𝘪𝑐. Tends to be just done backwards, which is a good way to do it, a good way to train it. Oh, lots of people coming. Okay, cool. Okay. So play with it a little bit. Yeah, good. Right. 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 Good. Okay. Oh, okay. Hello. Oh, yeah. Hello. Oh. Okay, last couple of minutes. We'll just keep the jaw at the side, the body, just to keep the weight in the body. We're just going to a tiny henko. So find your extension out, roll in the hip, settle into it. And then as you change, just let the jaw change sides. So just include the jaw in the movement. Find the extension front hand, fold into the hip, find that circular pattern, roll in just the extension one side, and then change. We're just working one side connection. Roll in, roll the hips, settle away. And then change, extension, roll in, find the circle, extension out, and then change sides each time. Offering, rolling in, and just include the jaw there as you roll out, let it settle towards the back. Okay, there you go. Okay, good. We're going to use a little bit of feedback. If you have a bad teacher, or probably a good teacher in the end, they'll save you time. They will hit the shoulder, hit the elbow. No, like this. So what you do is you don't want to do this. Like this. The first one's the shoulder coming up, popping up, and then trying to start the rotation. If I pop the shoulder up, the only solution I got to popping the shoulder up is to push it back down as I go into the rotation. So just use the jaw. You're not going to hit yourself. Just use the jaw here on the shoulder, but just notice what happens in the shoulder. Try and avoid this roll up. The main thing with that pop up is actually the shoulder starts to rotate over, and then I lose the connection to the hip. So settle it down. Just use the jaw here. lightly, you can kind of rub it. If you want to hit it, you can hit it there. Just settle it in. And then as you go into it, it basically holds that position. So it holds that kind of roll down open position. Roll down open position. So just notice what's happening in the shoulder. You do it there. And then if you want, you can keep it into the rotation. Again, also during the rotation, the extension, try and avoid this. So the shoulder gets like pulled out, and then I do this. So again, that kind of slight kind of scooping motion. So there's a scoop, there's a scoop, there's a scoop, and I basically maintain the weight through the joint. Play with both sides. If you've got a particular bad side, hit it. No, no. You have to tell the shoulder, no, no, no. There. That's it. That's it. Yeah, very good. Yeah, very nice. Good. Good. And play with the same thing on the elbow. So the other tendency with the elbow is to do something in the elbow, which again is going to like pop up, move up, something like that. It's connected with the shoulder, obviously, but try and feel that the elbow, the tricky part of the elbow is that it needs to be extended away from the body. I can't kind of tighten it to the body and then use the body like this, because I basically just make a
тесто с добавлением сливочного масла, лук сладких сортов для образования
let the elbow settle down. You do it, and again, just use the feedback. The feedback also here, so the elbow should feel strong. Shouldn't feel that I'm pushing out with the hand there, and also shouldn't feel that it's collapsed into the body. Just that there. So you're allowed to settle it, but this kind of roll. The 𝘗 should be able to kind of roll down the arm, basically. Shouldn't feel like it hits a kind of kink and gets stuck. Should kind of roll down the arm this way. So again, just use the 𝘗 a little bit for a bit of feedback on the body. Okay, good. That's it. Again, try on both sides. And the main thing with the elbow is the extension. I need it to be extended from the body in order to kind of find that circle. But I don't want the extension to, as I go and change, I don't want the elbow to change. So I don't want to kind of kick it up. I don't want to push it out. Just want it to settle and flow. So I should be able to let the 𝘗 basically roll down the forearm, something like that. Okay, and then last one, just work with the hand, just the hand position with the 𝘗, just in the palm here, so it's just there. Play with the position of the hands. The shoulders also are going to be there, but play with this. You'll see loads of different positions with the hands in there. Sometimes like this, something like that, maybe. Just play with what happens with the 𝘗. So I want to kind of settle the 𝘗 into the 𝘗, and I want the fingers basically to be an extension of the hand. You can do this with, there's not really any specific position for this, although you'll see that, and you'll see certain people will teach certain positions with it. The main thing is that the hand feels like it's opening. So this feeling like it opens, spreads, and comes into this kind of position. Sometimes it's described like you can hold a water drop in the hand or something like this, but the main thing is it's got a kind of collective kind of position. So it's a scooping hand and it's an open hand. You know, these kind of positions really probably won't help. This kind of position probably won't help. This kind of position probably definitely won't help. So just play with the 𝘗. So something like settling. The main thing, use the contact with the 𝘗 in the center of the palm to feel, that's where the movement actually starts from. Try and avoid starting like the fingers do it, something like that. Feel that the hands actually spread from the center of the palm. So locate the center of the palm, and expand the hand from there. You're doing that in the beginning of Tiny Henko, you're kind of doing that from the beginning anyway. That kind of movement, and you roll into it, and then you just spread it at the end. So it's the kind of final part of the extension. Just that. And then your hand position will be totally different to everybody else's. It should be, because it's your hand, then nobody else. And look at the hands of Sensei in this picture. She's got these really like incredible hands. They really bend backwards through. He's got really strong hands. So strong fingers that are able to kind of also extend really fully out backwards. Also quite useful. Good. And then just let the 𝘗 go on the arms. We were doing this at the end of class, can't remember when, but just let the 𝘗 kind of roll on it. So you're looking for kind of flexibility. You can do this 2 ways. You can let the other hand just take the 𝘗 gently, just kind of roll it down and just focus on one arm. You can do it on the other, obviously, or you can do it with both. So just play with it, but just let the 𝘗 kind of roll down. Focus now on the shape of the whole body. So you can do this shoulder width, where you can just basically focus on the shoulders, the position of the arms, the extra weight out, and basically how to neutralize that weight in the body. So I don't want to feel that the weight is heavy in front of the body, something like this. I want to feel that the weight is basically just collected and settled. And then if you can get that, just focus on a little bit kind of flexibility with it. Last exercise we'll do. If you get really good at this, you can kind of roll the shoulders out as well, but just focusing. And if you want to, you can take the leg forward. A bit difficult to go into Tanenko to do it, but you probably possibly could. So you're looking for this, the shoulder settled towards the back, the elbow extended from the body but comfortably, and the hand to be really an extension of the whole joint, right to the fingertips. Good. And as you're doing it, just notice what's happening in the lower body. You should have a kind of equal movement in the lower body as well. So the shoulders, hips working together, the elbows and knees going together, and the feet also have a sensation of spreading. So you're obviously not doing spreading with the feet, although you probably could, it would be interesting, but just let the feet release into the ground. So your extension down, your extension out is the same, all basically one system working together. Last few. Good. And then just to release out the arms a little bit, let the arms just roll out over, let the 𝘗 go. You can play a little bit with the elbows, play a little bit on the neck, the shoulder, and just release them out a little bit, let them roll. And throw the 𝘗 up if you want. Roll the forearms a little bit. Yeah, if you drop it, don't drop it on your toes. It's the bad one. So, great. Oh, 𝘗𝑰𝑑𝑜𝘩𝑦. There we go. We'll bow up. Very nice. Great. どうもありがとうございました。
どうもありがとうございました。
Oh, 𝘗𝑰𝑑𝑜𝘩𝑦. There we go. Very nice.